This is a very pleasure. It's a very pleasure for me to be here. I'm Emanuela Maio at University. I'm a professor at University of Parma, Italy. This is my topic: sport and social sustainability, a private law approach. To be honest, this is only a part of the wider project, research project. The research project name is okay, secure. Okay, secure esports. Secure esports, health, security, and human rights in esports, plural approach towards legal solution. This is the research project funded by the European Union on this topic. The main goals of the topic of the project are reduce the gender gap, prevent discrimination, and promote inclusion. As you can see in the graphic, the gaming industry has grown by nearly 50% over the past 10 years, and the trend continues to rise. Alongside the growth of the gaming industry, according to statistical data, there has been an increase in discriminatory behavior in this industry, particularly related to gender, sexual orientation, and race. This means that the gaming industry too should uphold social development goals. So, with regard to the legal framework, the policy about these problems that we are analyzing with my group, not at the international level, or well, I'm referring to the national level and the European level too. There aren't the specific law to protect the people involved in this field, and I'm referring in particular way at the domestic level. Because you have to know that in Italy, there isn't the law to protect the people involved in esport field. I mean, there is the draft law pending on the parliament, the two draft law, but until now we have don't know. We don't have the specific law to achieve these goals. But and this the meaning of it is that so the industry, the private company have the role to achieve the goals that I indicated to you before. Because if there aren't the specific law, the support is given by the policy industry inside this field. So it means that the company, the industrial company who which operate in e-game esports industry, they have to achieve these goals about the sustainability. Uh, we are focused on these four goals: reduced inequality, industry innovation and infrastructure, decent work and economic growth, and gender equality. But how can these goals be achieved? To be honest, we have indeed some steps to do it. First of all, analyze the relationship between the virtual world, e-sport, and the real world. Reflect reasoning on the legal and social effect of esports, and propose a solution for social sustainability in esports industry. but it's not so easy to even if these are the goals, or well, the steps to achieve the goals that we have seen before. It's not so easy for us to do it, and that step can resume in a main reflection, in a main reasoning. Esports, sports or not. So why we have a question about the meaning of esports, because everything depends on the definition of esport. I mean, the esport, you know that esport is an organized competition based on video games. But about the real the true definition of the real definition of esports, there is the diverging legal interpretation. So the Court of Justice in a 2007 decision ruled that sport is mainly a physical activity. uh, it means that the Court of Justice excludes from the definition of e-sport the sector of esports, and also the European Sports Charter, because in order to reach sport is physical and mental activity. Yes, the European Sports Charter added something more about the definition of sport respect to the European Court of Justice. But how can you, see, the main common point is always that the sport is the physical activity. But we have to change the point of view, because we have to adopt another method to investigate about the definition of esports. I adopted the analogia juris method. Um, it means that the sport in its essence is not only about the physical performance. It's about values, as solidarity, education, fair play, inclusion, and teamwork. From this point of view, esports embodied the traditional sports value. When I adopted the analogia juris method, it means that we analyze the esports like phenomenon, but the common point between esports and sport is the value that they sport and the esport share. And this perspective, named functional perspective. So it means that sport is not only physical and mental activity, but also to achieve, to share some main value, like inclusion, solidarity, etc. So um, this means that the principle of social sustainability must be also respected in the esports sector too. But and I'm trying to explain better what I want to say. Um, at the national level, I'm referring to the Italian legal framework. There isn't yet the specific law about the esports. And it means that the role of a private company is more important to achieve some goal. These goals are the sustainability goals. It means that we have to understand what are the articles inside our legal system about sustainability. And we have to refer the Italian Constitution. I'm referring to at Article 3 about equality, Article 41 economic sustainability, Article 9 environmental protection, social social sustainability means inclusion and participation, and this is a way to avoid a risk of human rights violation without regulation. So, if we apply the social sustainability, or well, the principle of sustainability to esport for achieving our goals, inclusion, reduce gender gap, education, um, we can find the right legal protection to the people involved in this sector. But how I explain it, sorry, how I explained it before, the main role to achieve these goals is given by the company, the industry, the company that works inside the esports sector. For instance, to understand well the deeply the phenomenon that I'm trying to describe to you, the same condition we can find at the European level, because there is a lack of concrete measure across Europe. For instance, the example, at the national level, I'm referring to Switzerland, but we can take it like the example to achieve the sustainability goals, but to protect the people involved in our sector, esports sector. But some suggestions are given by the IDEA. IDEA is the private company that that operate in the esports sector, and the Federation of Esports that operates in France. These two examples help us about the suggestion to combat online child abuse. But if we want to achieve the goals that I indicated you before, and considering that our constitution, Italian constitution, does not contain an explicit article on sustainability, but only some articles about it. The role of the private actor become primary for us. It means that we must consider social sustainability in a sport company, internal and external. Internal, and it's necessary to better understand how esport companies can realize social sustainability in their policy. How you, as you can see on the slide, I put on the slide some internal policy about the social sustainability. Warn and disadvantage, promote advantage, cooperate with esport federation, and fill the normative gap. Uh, you know too well that when I indicated the normative gap, it is linked to the some suggestion or recommendation, the 2021 UNICEF recommendation for the online gaming industry in assessing impact on child and at regional level, and the 2008, this is the oldest one, respect interactive software federation of Europe human rights guideline for online games providers. But you know that nowadays the European legislator, but the national legislators too, they are trying to give us the homogeneous legal framework about the esport gaming, esport sector, export field, but not only from the economical point of view, but also from a social point of view, because the question is to protect the child, the child abuse, yes, but in general, the question is to discipline this sector in each aspect of it. So an example about, because before I show you, or well, I'm showing you the two aspects of the social sustainability policy, internal and external. Internal is that, but external is given by the role of federation. I reported it, some of it. The National Esport Federation respect the Swiss Federation statutes. And if you read the slide, the slide, you can see how the federation, the Swiss Federation statute, tried to give us the right protect, to give the people the right protection about the human rights in this sector, and how the Swiss Federation tries to avoid the discrimination and instead to promote equality provision. But so the policy, the social policy, the sustainability policy inside the company push the role of sports, pushes the role of the sports company, and it means that the company the companies have the others objective to achieve. So not only they achieve it about the social sustainability development goals, but to achieve that, they have to adopt the specific internal policy, like the change of the changement of the respect to the new notion of leadership, the new rules to support the various functions of a company, and the help of AI to check the right internal social sustainability. But what are the results of the first phase of our study about the first conclusion? That the first one is that the virtual and the real worlds are interconnected. So what happens in a virtual world have the consequences in the real world, and it means that we need the specific discipline, this specific law. Esports have the consequence is that esports have real world effects, it required legal regulation, that the focus will be on the consequences, not for, and closer legal gaps for true social sustainability. I don't know if you have any question for me, but in brief, the point of my presentation, daily presentation, is that the role of a company, the company that operates in esports sector, how they can achieve the goal of social sustainability, and how the company, the industries can replace the role of the legislator when there isn't there isn't the specific law on the regulating the esports sector for protecting the people involved in it, with specific regards to the child or the minors in general way. So thank you for your attention. If you have any question, I'm here.
Thank you so much for the presentation. We have one question from Tori in chat saying, sustainability is an important topic, so thank you for showing the legal perspective. What I am wondering, how can we enforce those policies on a national level if the gaming platform is located in some other country, maybe with less policies?
Sorry, I'm hearing double twice voice. I don't know
Oh,
if
okay.
I.
Um, Mute
Uh,
the Chrome tab. Yeah, mute the Chrome tabs.
Maybe it could be possible because okay, I'm trying to be to do it because I open it to link for the presentation, and
Yep.
okay.
Oh, I think we have lost Emanuela. I'll give her a minute to see if she's able to come back. Oh, there we go.
Please, sorry.
That's all good. Are you okay with this audio?
I'm here for your question
Yep, you can hear me just fine.
because before
Ema-
I didn't understand because there were two voice.
yep, can you hear me just fine now?
Okay, yes, more or less.
Oh, excellent. So Tori has a question in chat saying, sustainability is an important topic, so thank you for showing the legal perspective. What I am wondering is how we can enforce these policies on a national level if the gaming platform is located in some other country with maybe less policies.
Okay, if okay. Uh, we have to reason on the two level because the national level, yes, we need to have the legal protection about the legal discipline about the esport sector. But Italian constitution is the fundamental chart, fundamental rights of the nation. Okay, so if we have the sustainability principle within the Italian constitution, this is a good point to start for a good protection for a good discipline of the esports sector. It means that we apply the principle of sustainability, or well, the private actors can apply the sustainability principle respecting the Italian constitution, but it's not enough for having the full protection in this sector. It means that we need the ordinary law for this sector too. But meanwhile that the parliament decides to publish, to adopt the specific law, the main role having the company that operates in this sector. How? Adopting the sustainability goals inside it, always respecting the Italian constitution with regard to the sustainability principle. So I think that I know that it's not so easy to understand because we have to connect the principle inside the Italian constitution, the internal policy industry, and the lack of ordinary law at the national level. But the question become more complicated when we reason about the relationship between national operators and the operator, the worker outside of our nation. So I'm referring the relationship between, for instance, the company in Italy and pro player in another outside of Italy. What is the law that we can apply? So, if at the European level we not have yet the general legal framework on this sector, you understand well that it is so more complicated to compare and to not compare but to choose which one is better for us. But if we want to reasoning only at the internal policy of industry, the company could adopt the right social sustainability for the people who work about this sector, from the pro player to the normal administrative worker inside it. And the lack is still too wide, and we are working about for supporting the draft law at the national level. I don't know if I explained better myself, if I was clear, but if you need, I can answer to the other question, or repeat what is my reasoning about the question.
Yeah, we have one more question from Kwok, who asks, would it be possible to elaborate on how European law may be different or similar from international law?
Okay, I think so. Thank you for the question, first of all. But I know, and we know that the European, e-sport sector is the national, European, international level too. Okay. The problem is that we have to know that there are some different relationship, because sometimes we consider Europe like the unique organization under which each European country operates. Okay. And you know that a way to get homogeneous the legal framework by the Europe is to adopt the regulation. The European regulation is a easy way to get homogeneous the discipline, the protection for the people who operates, who works, who is involved in this sector. But sometimes, not sometimes, I think the mass part of the relationships are between um, a single country and the other country outside of Europe. In that case, it could be possible the agreements between the European country or the singular country and the other country outside of Europe to discipline some aspect of the relationship. But to be honest, we have to apply the international regulation like Roma the first, Roma the second, and understanding what are the law of a national country involved to be applied. And you know that there are some criteria to do it. The problem is that in our case, in esports sector, is not so easy to understand which one can be applied, because it's not the relationship, or well, the work is not in the real world, but the virtual, and there is not so easy to understand what is the law to apply. It's not so easy to find the right solution, and we're trying to put in order the different level of law: national, European, and international. Yes, I think that it could be easier for us if the Europe decides to adopt a regulation. In this way, the European country, the member of Europe, could have the unique regulation, and it could be easier to manage the relationship with the country outside of Europe too.
All right. Thank you very much, Emanuela, for your presentation. It was a pleasure to have you on. That's all from us.
Okay. Thank you for your event. I'm very happy to be a part of this network, and I hope to take part the next time, or to be present for the other conferences. Thank you for the organization, and I I see you soon, I hope.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Bye.